Hello, welcome back to the Forbidden Land podcast. This is episode 65. You know what that means. The podcast can finally retire with Social Security benefits. It's Pride Month still. Last week, oh my god, I knew that was gonna happen. This bag just opened. Last week we talked about some real gay shit. We talked about Pride events. We talked about who can go to Pride, all that stuff. And that's about the most I mentioned Pride Month. This episode will be even less. Not because I don't like Pride Month, but because I have nothing to say about it. I said last episode is the 9th anniversary of gay marriage being precedent. Court precedent, so we'll re-celebrate that. Yay! Woo! Awesome. And that's about all I have to say about that. But yeah, I think last episode I was gonna make it more personal, right, in regards to Pride Month. Like I was gonna talk more about myself and like my own LGBT experience. And then I got stuck on this like tangent about whether or not we should allow straight people and cis people into Pride events. And you know, obviously I came to the conclusion that you can, but I didn't get to any of the stuff about me. Like all I wrote down was Pride Month. Like that was the only thing I talked about that was actually written down in that category. Can I just say, by the way, this redesign, I'm only drinking this because this is what Chick-fil-A gave us. Also, yeah, speaking of Pride Month, that's a great thing to discuss that I went to Chick-fil-A. But be real. You know how many gay people go to Chick-fil-A? That's like 90% of their customer base. I think the CEO would die of like spontaneous combustion if he knew that. But the redesign on these water bottles sucks. Who came up with this? You know? Look at this. Huh? The logo should be a salt shaker. Because there's... Oh no way, did they stop putting salt in it? Whoa. I don't see it on the ingredient list. Unless minerals is what the salt is. Minerals added for taste. This really should not be allowed to be called water. I don't think they should be allowed to call this water. If there's salt in it, you have to call it something different. You know? So it has taken me 2 days to finish this. Because I keep drinking other water. Like I keep getting like cups of water and other forms of consuming water, and then I just have this bottle that being dragged around behind me the whole time. But yeah, I didn't talk about anything relating to Pride Month that related to me at all. And oops. I was supposed to. And that wasn't a deliberate choice. I just straight up forgot to. I didn't know until after I stopped the recording of like, oops, I forgot to talk about this whole like side quest. But I think I did mention it though that I am bisexual. And I've been out of the closet on that for longer than gay marriage has been precedent in this country. I came out in 7th grade to friends, and then I came out to my mom like a few months later. So yeah, I have a really interesting kind of like history with stuff like this. When I was a kid, I used to get called gay all the time. I don't know what I was doing as a kid. I don't know if there was some kind of like mannerism I was doing that made me seem gay. But like kids would bully me by being like, "You're gay," and we like 6. And so I asked my dad, I was like, what does that even mean? And he told me. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I grew up thinking that was a very normalized thing, that some people just are gay. And I didn't know that it was this like widely hated thing amongst the population. Like, I didn't know that there were that many people out there that were homophobic. And it's very weird, like, it was very weird growing up to see that unfold. Like, I thought they were just calling me gay to make fun of me. I didn't know that like gay people were, at least in the region I grew up in, were like universally not looked upon like in a positive light. I've been called the F slur sometimes. I've definitely like had to hide my sexuality because of like people that I meet that seem a little bit more conservative. I feel the need to like hide it from them, and then eventually they find out, and then they are seemingly accepting. Like, they'll still say like bigoted shit to my face, but they're not talking about me. They always seem to exclude me. It's like when like racists have that one black friend and they're like, oh no, he's not like that, but like black people be like blue, and then insert like the worst stereotype you can think of. It's kind of like that. They're like, oh, Dane's not like that, but like, F words be like blue, and then they say something horrible about like trans people. So that is my LGBT experience. I'm sure a lot of people have similar experiences with that, if they are indeed LGBT. But yeah. Anyway, moving on. I want to talk about a good song I heard. And look, this is breaking information coming out now. That breaking news. I've never been like a big fan of this music, just because like it's just not my thing. I mean, you can see it on my shirt. This is the kind of stuff I like, and stuff like Billie Eilish isn't really my like genre. But I have to admit something. So like, I've never disliked her music. We finally have one. We have one song that I love from Billie Eilish. It sounds like, I'm going to come at it from two different perspectives, as a listener and as an audio engineer. I'm going to explain the listener part first. As a listener, she has a great singing voice. I love the way that she sings in this song. The lyrics are pretty good. I actually do really like the message behind the song and what she's trying to convey. And I love the instrumental. The instrumental feels like a 90s R&B beat, mixed with like obviously like modern elements, and it's made, electronically and everything, more than likely, at least. I don't know that for sure. But like it literally just sounds like a 90s song you'd hear on the radio. It's so good. And I was listening to it earlier, and as an audio engineer, it's crazy how they mixed it. Everything's like perfectly balanced out. Her voice is like perfectly in the middle of the mix, like front and center. I wouldn't even say front. Like, I know that's like a saying, but it's like kind of in the very center of the room. And then all the instrumentals are like around you in this big room. It feels like you're surrounded by it. And it kind of like fills the whole spectrum with something. There are no gaps. There are no quiet gaps in the mix. Everything is like panned perfectly. There's nothing that was like too loud. No points in the song where I was like, ugh, this sounds bad. It was just like overall a really good song. And I've already listened to it like 15 times, and it's stuck in my head right now. I would listen to it on the podcast if I could. It's so good. And then that brought me to like, oh my god, I think this is a guilty pleasure song for me. Another guilty pleasure song that I recently started listening to more of was Split by Willow. How old is this song? 2022? So yeah, Split by Willow is a good example of of like guilty pleasure type music that I like. Oh, sorry, I'm a little tired. I've been up since 5 a.m. But that's a really good song that I've been really into lately. And I'm trying to think if there are any other songs that I'm into that would be seen as like, whoa, really? I don't know. I'm sure they're buried somewhere, but right now I'm throwing down Split by Willow, Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish. I don't think did I ever say the title of the song when I started talking about it? Because I don't know if I did. I'm talking about Birds of a Feather. I might have to go back and insert text or something. But Birds of a Feather, is that what it's called? Right? Yeah, Birds of a Feather. Beautiful mix. It's like easily the best song on that whole album. And if you want like a perfect example of like a Billie Eilish song that represents the style that I wasn't the biggest fan of, but didn't hate, it's a song like Lunch. Lunch is so inherently her style that like that's the kind of style I'm talking about, where I'm not like the biggest fan of that, but I don't hate it. And it's by far the most popular song on this album, but it looks like Birds of a Feather is catching up. I would say that's easily the best song on that entire album. But yeah, it got me thinking about like guilty pleasure stuff that I like, because you know, like there's stuff in certain like fandoms that I enjoy that people in that fandom don't. And it's kind of interesting to think about. You know, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Sue me. But I'm particularly a big fan of the prequels, which, like, objectively, if I made an objective list ranking all the movies, like, by all the movies, I'm going to just shorten it down to the first 6 because, you know, the Disney ones are so unique and in a category of their own. They shouldn't really be in that ranking. If you want me to quickly list off my ranking for the sequel movies, it would be Last Jedi, Force Awakens, and Rise of Skywalker, like way down below that. But the Star Wars movies, like if you ask me to objectively rank them, then yeah, it'd be like, you know, I like Return of the Jedi, or like I think Return of the Jedi is really good, Empire's really good. A New Hope can be a little boring, to be honest. Like I'm just judging it by modern standards. And then the prequels would be down there. If you were to make me rank it on what I enjoyed, Revenge of the Sith is at the top of that list. So I would say a guilty pleasure for me is rewatching the prequels. I like rewatching Attack of the Clones because that was the movie that got me into Star Wars in the first place. It was on like Spike or something, and I watched Obi-Wan like do this to a door on Kamino. It's like right after he hooks onto that building on Kamino and then like swings and does a flip onto the platform, and he runs up to the door and goes, and the door just opens. My dad's like, that's what the Force is. And I was like, whoa, I gotta watch these movies. I don't rewatch The Phantom Menace very much. I think I've seen that movie a total of 4 times. Once was in the theater when they re-released it in 3D. But yeah, I've only seen it like maybe 4 times in full. I'm just not a big Phantom Menace fan. It's kind of a slog. Once you know what happens in it, then it's like you already know what's going on. And like, I think the 2 lightsaber fights in it are good. The pod race is cool, like the first couple times, and then it's like, all right, I already know what's gonna happen. All the scenes on Coruscant are just like neat. I don't know. It has like I don't know why there's a net in here. It has good like lore potential, but the movie itself is pretty boring. But I love watching Attack of the Clones occasionally. Stop. Ugh. There's a bug in here. I like seeing Jango Fett. I like seeing Kamino. The beginning of the Clone Wars. I love all of it. Revenge of the Sith is my favorite prequel. I don't think that's that controversial to say. I think a lot of Star Wars fans would agree that that's their favorite prequel, if they even like any of the prequels. But I love Revenge of the Sith. I also rewatch a lot of... I'm a huge lore guy. I think I just really like seeing lore play out. This water bottle, this water, not helping me. My mouth is drying out so fast while talking. I would say I really like lore, I think is what it is. Like I'm watching The Acolyte right now. Parts of The Acolyte feel really cheesy to me, and sort of lackluster in some areas. Overall, I think it's a really good show. But I'm mostly watching it because I like the lore around that period. The High Republic kind of fascinates me. It's not the Old Republic where there's like endless war between the Jedi Order and the Sith Order, and all this like crazy stuff going on in across the galaxy. The High Republic is like the Jedi Order at its peak, the Senate at its least corrupt, supposedly. A time when there are no Sith. There are like maybe dark side assassins every now and then, or dark side users, or like bandits, or like groups that are going after the Jedi. But overall, the Jedi are in their highest form at this point. And the Acolyte really goes to like showing you how they're kind of crumbling as an order. Like, you know, some of the Jedi have attachments and the other Jedi are like, that's fine, you just need to work on that. We're not going to ban you from the order like we would if it was the prequels. That Yord guy is like the teacher's pet sort of Jedi, where he thinks he's like the perfect Jedi, he's doing the right thing, and in reality he's just like a very stiff, kind of stupid Jedi Knight, which is evident from him like suggesting that they just run in to the mechanic shop and like stun the guy instead of interrogating him right then and there. But I think I really like the lore potential behind this show. That's why I want to see Yoda so bad. I want to see a prequels Yoda. You know, I want to see what they tweak about his design, how they make him act. I'm like that with the Marvel movies too. Like Iron Man 2. I'll rewatch Iron Man 2. I like the way that it builds on the story. It's the first one with Don Cheadle. I like the arc reactor poisoning storyline. We're under a fucking... What? We're under a air quality warning. Dude. Can we just get some rain? But, yeah, you know who's a really good band that I like? So a lot of people know who Deftones is. I've been gatekeeping this band for so long that I need people to just know about it. So, hey, chill out, phone. Wow, yeah, we are in a full-on air quality alert. Wow, that's been a long time since I've seen that. Come on. It won't scan my face. Wow. Let's see, we're under a UV8. Okay. There's a little bit of wind. Whatever. It's very clear. It's only a little humid. What's wrong with the air quality then? Also, I love that a storm passed under us. Thanks. Whatever, we're under an air quality warning. Oh. The severity of this alert is unknown. Well, then why did you issue it? God, the fucking Department of Natural Resources here They're like, quick, we need something to show we're doing work. Let's release an air quality warning. What are the details on it? Nothing. Ay, ay, ay. Do we have any more details to put in the alert? No. So, I've been gatekeeping this band for a while. If you know who Deftones is, then you might have heard some songs of theirs. If you've gone a little deeper, you know that Chino is also like Chino Moreno, the lead singer, is in a band named Crosses. But if you dig a little deeper, he's in a band named Palms. Palms is a really good band. Maybe I'll play a little bit of one of their songs that'll be only on the Patreon. So if you're watching this on YouTube or listening to it on Spotify, it's going to cut to the thing I say after I play this. But if you're watching on Patreon, then you'll get to hear this part. And it's only because of copyright rules. If there weren't any copyright rules, I wouldn't have made this Patreon exclusive. So, get ready. I'm going to play a song that I really like from them. Called Opening Titles. This song is so fucking good. And so welcome back, YouTube and Spotify users. Or Apple Podcasts. Fucking losers. So, like the guitar. Also, go listen to it. It's Opening Titles by Palms. God. The water is like, this is drying me out, but I have to keep drinking it. So, the way that like the guitars sound, where they're like super, like airy around you, and they have this certain like tone to them that sounds so good. And then the way that Chino sounds when he's singing in this song, I believe this song is like an old unreleased track of theirs that they released last year. I think they released it on my birthday too. Yeah, they released it on my birthday, which I thought was sick. They have a album that's self-titled, and the song Future Warrior on that album is my favorite. And then they have like a remix of another song that came out in 2015. And then there was nothing until 2023 when they release Opening Titles and End Credits. End Credits is the more popular out of the two for some reason, even though Chino doesn't sing on it, which is kind of unfortunate. But Opening Titles is like one of my favorite songs now. It just sounds so good, and the way that the song ends too. There's a thing I like to talk about that only a few songs have, where it's like this tragic sound where the guitar or the vocalist or both have this like tragic tone to them, where it feels like they're pouring everything into it and like something bad has happened. There's another song called Dark Stone by Holy Fawn. That song, tragic as shit. I think I might make a separate, like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I want to do something on the Patreon where I talk about music that I like, so I can actually play snippets of it. I did do a little thing for a bit there called What Am I Listening To, but I just didn't want to do it anymore. But I might do a thing where, like, I can play snippets of songs and talk about what I like about that and whatnot. Like I said, I'm a huge, like, I feel like content should be freely accessible kind of guy. The only reason it would be a Patreon exclusive is because of copyright. That would be the only reason, because other than that, I want to share this with people. Like Darkstone has that tragic sound. Future Warrior and Opening Titles also have that tragic sound. It just sounds like something horrible or like just completely terrible has happened, and to the singer or the guitar player or just whoever wrote the song. And this is their way of like getting it out. And so that's what like tragic music sounds like. God, there was another one. Man. A song by Memorist called Kaiju. I want to say that's how you pronounce it. Kijo. That song does sound very tragic. It just has like the way that he kind of like forces out the lines during the chorus. It sounds like something is like in pain, you know. I would play a snippet of this one. I don't want to have to keep cutting out and time stamping the podcast. But be wary when you're listening to Memorist if you're going to go listen to that song, because little fun fact about Memorist. So they are a metal band that released like, I think in total they released about 5 or 6 songs. If you go to their page now, they have a 5-song EP and a few singles. But you know, before they were all split in different singles. It was very obvious they were building up to an overall album. And you know, after 2021, they've just gone completely silent. 2022, we got nothing, which is very out of the ordinary, like for a band. You know, why would you build up to an album and then not drop one when you're like clearly popping off? They have millions of listens on Spotify. I'm sure they have the same thing on Apple Music. So, you know, the second sequence is like their top song is 4.4 million listens on Spotify. The Kaiju one I just talked about is their third most popular song. It's their fourth, where it has 2.7 million listens. And suddenly they just stopped making music. So I'm like, that's weird. And then one day I'm listening to a band called Save Us. Let's see how they're doing right now. So they've kind of done a thing where they've like released a bunch of singles. Haven't really dropped an album, but like their last EP came out at the end of 2023. And you know, I was like, oh man, who are these guys? Like, where'd these guys come from? They're new. They just started like going off with music. And then I find out Save Us are like most of the original Memorist band, minus the singer and like minus another guy who's now doing like house music. And I was like, man, what happened to Memorist? Like, did they break apart? Are they just doing like solo projects right now? So I go and look it up. The Memorist lead singer is in jail. I think he gets out this year or maybe next year. I don't remember. It might be even longer than that. He's in jail. Why he's in jail? He lives in the UK, by the way, and we're like 99.9% sure this is him. You can go look this up if you want to verify it. The reason why the Memorist singer is supposedly in jail is because whilst babysitting a small child, he pretty much like dropped the child, or that's what he claims. He claims the child fell on the floor. But it was obvious from like a medical examination, this baby that now has brain damage was shaken. He shook a baby, supposedly. Let me look this up because I want the more fine details. So, you know, there was a post on the metalcore subreddit, and let's see. Let me get the dates. Yeah, here's someone who found out. So, he was a teacher. Interesting. Teacher? Teacher left 43-day-old baby brain damaged by shaking. So here's the article. It's on Bristol Live. It's clearly a local, page. And I mean, here he is. It's pretty obvious this is him from Memorist. It looks just like any picture that's ever come out of that band. A babysitter. Okay, so they're just calling him a teacher for some reason. A babysitter who admitted shaking a 43 days old baby, leaving the baby brain damaged. I'm sorry, British people, be real. Leaving the tot brain damaged. I wonder how that baby's doing now. This was June 2022. I wonder how that baby's holding up. He was caring for the baby when the incident occurred. Let's see. Initially, he reported that the child became ill and knocked its head against the sofa. That's what he said. He later went on to claim he had dropped the baby from around a meter. Due to the baby's injuries, though, medical experts diagnosed the baby had been gripped forcefully and shaken. Man. Damn, whose address was given? Jesus. He pled guilty. Wow. Oh, so he's in prison for 3 years. So he gets out next year. Wow. Yeah, so yeah, he shook a baby. I can't imagine that band's ever gonna join back together. You know, I mean, how do you remain friends with a guy that gave a 43-day-old baby brain damage? Yeah, apparently it's like all the medical professionals were like, there's no fucking way, you know, that he didn't shake this baby. Like, the fact that he only got 3 years is pretty light considering what he did. He basically killed someone. Like, that baby's never gonna have the life that it was originally supposed to have. It's now gonna be constantly altered by this dude's actions. Yeah, look at this sorry little bitch. Bro shook a fucking baby, dude. It's insane. So if you go to listen to Memorist, I don't think I mean, if you listen to them on Spotify, you already know they ain't getting shit in terms of monetary gain. But if you listen to their music, you know, maybe use like a ad blocker or something. I don't know if he gets any money. If they are making money off of it, I hope it's just going to the original band members. But yeah, like right here on this Reddit thread, this would have been 2021. On Instagram, they said in a Q&A that their first album was in the making and no sign of breaking up or anything. So yeah, this is definitely stemmed from the singer going to jail for shaking a baby. So yeah. Insane. So yeah, you know, listen to their music with caution. If you're gonna listen to it. But man. Yeah, here's a screenshot of the or no. Here's just the fucking music video. Here. Let me get a shot of this guy. I mean, that's him. Same gauges, facial hair, face, eyes, all of it. It's him. I was like, oh, I got caught for shaking a baby. Oh. There you go. There's your little snippet. Eat your heart out. Please. This guy immediately telling this poster why the dude doesn't make music anymore. But yeah. So, be cautious when you listen to them. But that song is another example of like a tragic sounding song. God, dude. I'm trying to think if there are any other songs like that I can think of off the top of my head. I guess I'd have to re-listen to a lot of my metal songs. A lot of my metal songs are like that, where they aren't necessarily like super screamy. They just have like tragic sounds. Like here's a non-metal song. There's a Washed Out song called... do I even want to try to pronounce this? I forgot what it means. I know that it's not English. Oh, it's Latin. So it means love of fate. Amor fati. I guess that would be the way you say that. But this is another really good song. That's a good example of like a tragic sounding song. And that guy's from Atlanta, which is cool. But God, I'm trying to think. I know a lot of Holy Fawn songs are like that too. Oh, God, I love Holy Fawn. Holy Fawn is such like a hidden gem for me. Like, I know they have a decent amount of listeners, but man, they are just such like a hidden little gem for me. I do actually kind of wish that people knew about Holy Fawn more. See, he has a couple remixes he just released. That's sick. They have a song called Blood Pact, which is really fucking good. Candy's pretty decent. They have Darkstone, Arrows, Drag Me Into the Woods. Those 3 songs. Perfect. Dude, Darkstone is my top song of 2021, I believe. Actually, let me look. I have my top playlist somewhere. Let me look. So it was my 4th highest song in 2021. It was in my top 2022. It was number 30. And then 4th highest in 2023. Is it in the 2020 playlist, or had I not found it yet? Alright, it looks like I hadn't found it yet. But I'm sure it would have been at the top of that. I already know it's going to be at the top of my list for this year. But Arrows is really good. One of their newer ones, like Death is a Relief, that one's pretty good. Yeah, they have some really good bangers. I have Death Spells on vinyl. I think I showed it in the vinyl tour. I got it for Christmas? No, so I wouldn't have had it yet for the vinyl tour, right? When did I get Death Spells? Or did I get Death Spells the Christmas before? Why do I not remember? I might have gotten it the Christmas before, so I did show it in the vinyl tour. I want to say I did. But I have Death Spells. That's the point I'm trying to make. But those songs are really good. Holy Fawn's a nice little hidden band. There's another band I want to talk about called SSTO. They're like a psychedelic rock band. They released an album on my birthday, which is what made me click it, because they advertised it in the Tame Impala subreddit, and I was like, oh, it came out on my birthday. And they have an album called, or it's an EP called Fragments. It's about 4 songs, so it's about 20 minutes long total. They're really good. Warm Spacey Stuff is one of my favorite songs on here. Drifting is like probably the best one on this whole album, and it's also the most popular. But that's not by a lot. They only have 15,000 listens on that, and they have 164 monthly listeners. So You really should go listen to them. I believe they're like a Dutch band, right? Yeah, they're a Dutch band. All their listeners are in the Netherlands. I might be the only American listening to SSTO. But yeah, you should go listen to them. Yeah, they're Dutch. Okay, they're Dutch. Cool. I just wish they made more music. They have 5 songs. It's been over 2 years since their last release. I just wish they would release new music at this point. Have they ever said anything on social media? I don't think so. Yeah, they're not super active. They just play a lot of shows. Come on, give us some more music. Give us some more. Come on. Let's see. Oh, they are making new music. As of February, they're making new music. Yes. Let's fucking go, dude. Let's fucking go. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, go listen to SSTO. I'm so tired. I've been awake since like 5 in the morning. Oh, God. And I didn't have a whole lot of topics to prepare for this one, so you know, we're just kind of free balling it right now. Let's see. Oh. Oh, yikes. Apparently AOC had a flopped live stream yesterday. That's a bit of yikes. Apparently she brought on 2 Zionists and called them foremost experts on anti-Semitism. Interesting. Wow. Like bringing a racist on and calling them a foremost expert in racism. Oh yeah, that's really sad. A YouTuber named Comic Storian passed away at the age of 40. That's what his wife said. That's so sad. She just said it was an unfortunate accident. Man, that's upsetting. Ben Potter was his name. That's so depressing. In other news, what's going on? Hunter Biden was found guilty in a felony gun trial. Oh, wow. He faces up to 25 years. Yeah, that's not going to happen. If he, look, if Trump ain't getting a gajillion years in the slammer, then Hunter Biden ain't getting 25 years either. You know, there's no way. I wonder how Republicans are taking that news. Like, does the justice system only work for Hunter Biden, but Trump is totally innocent? How does that work? That seems, whoa. I'm getting a lot of news fed to me right now. So Hunter Biden is guilty in the gun trial. Three felony charges, it looks like. Well, Biden already said he accepts the verdict. Jesus Christ, Biden. Dude, Democrats are such pushovers. They're like, fuck, I guess he did it. It's like, dude, this is your son. Your only son that you still, like, have with you is facing possible prison time. You know, he has the full power to pardon his son. If he gets a second term, he might pardon his son. They're, what kind of charges are they? Are they federal? They are federal. Dude, he could so federally pardon. He could so federally pardon his son. Oh, that's so interesting. I wonder if he will. God, wouldn't that be awesome? You know, I don't like Biden that much, but goddamn, would that be fucking gangster shit? Is after the election he pardons his son. It's just like one big fuck you to the Republicans, because the Republicans, you know, they don't even bat an eye when Trump pardoned. Who was it that he pardoned? Like Roger Stone. He pardoned those guys that massacred a village in Iraq that were part of Blackwater. He pardoned like a few people for alleged political favors. And you know, nobody even bats an eye. If Biden pardoned Hunter Biden on the federal charges, that'd be baller. But I think the Democrats are so dick twisted and have their like hands so far up their ass that they would see it as like a bad thing and not vote for Biden. I think Biden knows that he would have to, like, you know, basically wait until the election's over to pardon him. But yeah, what's happening? No. Oh, there's a pizza joint near us that we wanted to try for a while. We only tried it like once, and they're already closing. Aw, damn, dude. Damn. That's upsetting. Cuomo's testifying to Congress over the COVID nursing home shit. Damn. Oh, it's GOP led. Oh, fucking god damn it. Fuck, dude. Also, so here's the problem with this. If it was Democrat led, wonderful. They're holding Cuomo accountable, you know, for some of the ways that he mishandled COVID. No, it's just going to be Marjorie Taylor Greene being like, you're the devil pedophile of New York. You know, like, just the most unhelpful discussions imaginable. And also, they need to bring Ron DeSantis up there to testify about this shit. All the mass graves in Florida? Come on. I don't understand. What's up with this? Like, look at the numbers between the two as well. Like, Ron DeSantis is way worse. Both should be held accountable, but it's like, that's not what the Republicans are going to do. They're just going to be like I said, it's just going to be Marjorie Taylor Greene being like, I hate doing the impression of her. I bet you eat babies for breakfast and that's why you're here, aren't you? Touching all those women and that's why so many people died. That's literally all it's going to be. She's going to pull out some big ass cue card with some like bullshit chart that she made up. Ugh, it's so exhausting. I guess Elon Musk is gonna ban Apple devices from his Tesla company, or from his companies, if if Apple starts using OpenAI. Musk said it's a unacceptable security violation. I don't know how. I don't like Apple that much either, but like, come on. They're gonna check in their Apple devices at the door. Dude, can somebody just play Minecraft with Elon Musk? You know what I mean. Wow. Finally, dude, we're getting some actual fucking news coverage on this. Thank you, Lord. We even have Fox News covering it, and the Washington Post. Oh, sorry, the Washington Post is not reporting it accurately. My bad. Neither is the Times of Israel, but of course they're not. Hamas accepted the UN ceasefire resolution, and currently it is now in. I guess they're like, talking about details, and now it's Blinken's responsibility to get the Israelis to accept it, I guess. So Israel would have to give back Palestinians that it's detained with no trial and no charges, and in exchange they'll give back the hostages, and they also want Israeli troops to leave. That's kind of sounds like what they've been wanting the entire time. Wow, crazy. Alright, that's the end of the episode. Thanks for watching. Remember, this podcast is now has as many episodes as years it would require to get full Social Security benefits. And yeah. Oh, medical debt's no longer they're banning medical debt from credit reports. Let's fucking go, dude. Fuck medical debt. That's right. All right. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Check out the Patreon, where there's not that weird cut at like 20 minutes in. And listen to us on streaming services if you don't want to have the video running, if you listen to this in the background. We're on YouTube Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Ooh, we have an RSS feed too that you can add to your podcasting app. All right. Bye-bye.